Black Ops 7 Warzone and Haven's Hollow have only been out for 2 days, but yet some streamers have already dropped 50 plus kills on the map. So today I'm going to be reacting to these gameplays and breaking down how these players are getting high kills, what they're doing that we could take into our gameplay. Also be talking about the state of Warzone and how it's changed, and therefore how we have to change our gameplay. So ladies and gentlemen, bots and speds, get your notebooks out and let's get 500 likes on this video, because class is in session.
9 players in here. Back on Rebirth for this game with the NPC, which
Let's
I
see.
think will be a better map to showcase it on. Haven's Hollow, I've noticed.
Did Strat get a new camera?
Very fast because they're probably still learning the map and they don't really know where to go.
True.
But Rebirth, I feel like plays a little bit different because, you know, everybody
It definitely
knows
does.
Rebirth,
So things we're looking here. Before we even get into it, guys, things we're kind of looking at here. I want to see how often does he get close to dying? How does he play with his ground loot versus loadout? Is he thirsting players? And what is he doing that the average player can take away, right? Because that's what I think about. If you put you watching this or myself, the average player, well, some of us might not, like I'm not an average player and some of you guys are not. But say you're a top 3% player. What can you do to drop a world record? If you're somebody who you just play casually, how can you get better? And if you're like a ranked or competitive player, what can you take away? Because if you're playing like a ranked player, you're not going to be playing for high kill games recklessly in lobbies like that. Like you're probably playing sweatier opponents. You're probably not able to play the same way, but that's what I want to go into this thinking like. So he's got 1 kill right off the bat. I did not notice that window there with the green window on Rebirth.
We get a UAV. I did notice a buff on the red boxes, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that scared me, bro.
Yes, there's more loot.
The new SMG right now, the Kogot, which
yeah, Kogot's nice.
And we don't have this SMG ranked up yet, but we'll be making sure we do take a look at this SMG.
Notice he's just pushing.
NPC,
once he gets his gun, he's no longer grabbing different guns, right? He's trying to push and get the next amount of kills. Nice. Not going for the thirst, right? Why does he go for the Semtex there? Why does he go for the Semtex, guys, right? And then we can hear people footsteps over here. He's looking at the mini-map, right? He's looking at the mini-map. Every single kill here. I just want to break this down. Let's go. We went too far back.
Guy, we get a UAV. I did notice a buff.
Let's start with this guy that pushes through, right? Start right,
right now, the Kogot,
about,
which I have right here. And
I mean, okay, he doesn't get that knock.
Ranked up yet, but we'll be making sure.
I want to start once we actually get, you know, up into the staircase here. That's where I kind of want to start by breaking down this whole scenario, because somebody pushes him upstairs, then 3 push him, right? Right here. This guy gets fooled by the echo. So I think one takeaway here, if you get some loot, like a prox mine, always throw it down in the beginning of the game because you never know what happens. If you want to drop high kills, land at a hot spot like Grandma's house or Control. And Strack tends to go Grandma's house, just like I go on the outskirts of the map. Why? I'm trying to get my loadout and kind of weave into it, where he's going for high kills every time. I'm not going for high kills. I might drop I've dropped 40 kills before, but I don't go for high kills, right? Here we go. Gets this. Why is his centering here, right? There's audio. He's got a UAV up, right? Doesn't go for the thirst. He gets a knock, and he's keeping it, is moving, is centering, right? He throws that. Why? That guy's thirsting, and he doesn't want to waste bullets. Why? Then he has to slow down to reload, which allows him to get this kill. Now, this guy doesn't have plates. He's immediately going for this thirst, has to switch weapons. Bang. That's how you get a 3-piece. And guys, sometimes to get a high kill game, you just have to get rolling, right? And a majority of players, I'm going to say this later in Cash's gameplay, a majority of times, if you think you're going to drop high kills, even if you get, let's be real, right? To drop high kills and get a world record, you have to get lucky to some extent, right? Either you were going to die and the player's bad and doesn't kill you, or you get some lucky precision airstrike that kills a team that's pushing you, right? There's some level of luck, right? The lobby you're in. And in Warzone 1, this was a little more objective because you could look at what lobbies you're in versus the pros. Now you can't. I kind of think they should bring that back just because it would be an objective thing. Regardless, right? If you put a bad player in a world record lobby, they're not dropping the world record, right? So the other thing, how does a good player do it? And what can we take away?
That was a very good play right there with the grenade.
Yep. The Semtex was good. We got a little jump cut. Let's see. Now, we knew these guys were over here earlier. Fast. Yeah, the Kogot's really good.
I need $250 for a loadout, so I mean, hopefully I can find that soon.
So he hasn't even got his loadout yet. He already has 5 kills, right? And this is like the luck, right? That guy's like AFK or something. We're going to see this with Cash. To drop a 50-60, you got to have some things go your way, right? Unless you're like Biffle or something, you know what I mean?
That guy?
And even then. So this guy right here sees him. We saw him on the minimap. We see a guy here. We hear metal, right? So if I'm like, so far, if I'm a ranked player, because I'm kind of talking for the average player, what do we do? Okay, we throw down stuff as we go. If you're a ranked or competitive player, I think one thing you can take away is just one, you're already probably looking at the minimap. So I think the thing is, when you get a thirst or down, always thinking about how to chain the next kill together, right? If you're a ranked player, staying alive is going to be critical. And that's something Strack does really well. Right? So he always stays alive and tries to play his life really well while being aggressive, which maybe if you're in ranked and you're playing against like the best or competitive, you're not going to do that, right? Strack actually just DM'd me, but... Okay. All right. His teammates are not nearby, right? We see the minimap, not nearby.
Chat, got these people out of the way. It is time to get a good old loadout now.
Yep. Gets his loadout when he can. Obviously, right, that guy could have gunned him.
For this game, I didn't want to test out.
And that's the thing, is that guy could have gunned him. Now, this is the first day of Black Ops 7. A lot of players are going to be bad. Why? They don't have guns leveled up. They don't know the movement. They might be confused, right? So I think, ironically, somebody like Strack, who has put in a lot of hours in the update, is probably going to be at a bigger advantage than he would be 2 or 3 days before that. Also worth noting that.
Sprinter, so we can have and test tag sprint, because that is something that has been...
So he's going to use Sprinter.
I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. So, gonna give it a try and see how it goes. So now we have tag
sprint. So NPC and, here with a 40-round mag and not a drum.
Run with your gun not going up, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm moving crazy fast right now. Okay, wow. Well, you actually fly around the map like this. Okay, and I also have the adaptive perk, which makes it so I am able to run through...
Adaptive is like that one perk from Warzone 3. What's that perk in Warzone 3 called?
Which is why I do argue that tempered might be a better perk than adaptive. But good thing with adaptive as well, it gives you better sprint to fire and aim down sight speed when you have full plates, which is a very cool feature. So
yeah, adaptive is really busted.
Could be one of the best perks.
I like what Call of Duty has done with the perks this season. I miss some of the perks from the past and how the old Mountaineer used to work, but combat roll's cool. I use it sometimes. It's a little disorienting.
Hopefully this can give me UAV or something. There we go.
Nice.
I am definitely running very fast attack sprint, bro. Pretty sure it's infinite as well.
Yeah, infinite attack sprint is crazy.
Fire speed too much, or aim down sight.
Tried to shoot that box there.
If it did, I feel like the adaptive perk does sort of cancel that out. We have it right now though, doing pretty good.
So he's on very good pace.
So let's keep opening.
Very good pace. Boom.
Drop one in there. No, I do want to drop the cluster.
Sprinter is definitely a meta perk to be using.
This one.
Like, guys, I think to some extent, copying a pro's loadout, right, and how they play with perks and playstyle. Like, if you're a fan of Diablo and you see him sniping and you want to use a Car 98, that's one thing. But I think copying how they react to stuff and what they do and figuring out how that corresponds with your playstyle. Like, some people like to YY. Some people don't like to do a lot of movement. And that might be some of you guys watching. You don't slide and move around. You kind of like slide cancel, aim down, right? You can still drop high kills doing that. Although I will say, this Warzone, when people figure out how to really mess with the movement of adaptive and sprinter, might be crazy. It also might get nerfed, which
Buster is tagging people. Might get some.
Is especially as well. A possibility.
Some people here. That guy just went down.
But I do like the meta and how they've kind of made a lot of stuff viable. I do feel like the Razor and NPC are kind of breaking away as the meta SMG. But Call of Duty is going to update the meta more frequently, so.
Because gas masks cannot be looted off the ground.
Yeah, true.
They also can't be bought either.
That is a buff to Bunker Busters.
At least for right now, they're very.
So he's not running tempered, I'm assuming, or Mountaineer.
I Mountaineer, I forgot.
Okay, there you go. I was going to say. So 12 kills. He's going a lot slower than Cash for Kills did. But notice Strack hasn't died. And I think in the later game, you guys are going to see with Cash for Kills plays more flashy and aggressive than Strack does. They both drop 50 kills in this video, but one plays, I'm not going to say slower because Strack is like a movement player, but he plays like a lot more slow and tactical when he needs to. And Cash for Kills, he's going to wow you with a crazy play. And I think that's just their playstyle. And that's things you could take away.
Sprinter. This is
Sorry for
insane.
pausing it, guys. Also, guys, let me know. Do you guys like these reaction videos? Do you like the breakdowns? I want to react to your guys' stuff, too. Look at them. See, but then Strack can do this.
That was disgusting.
Like, that's not easy to do. Even if the opponents are quote-unquote bad, right? That's not easy to do. That's just not. Like, that was played perfectly. And I kind of want to roll that back. That was just perfect. Wow. I want to roll that back here.
This is insane.
And then, once again, just comment down below before we get into this. What sort of reaction spectating videos do you guys want? Customs, etc.? I'm going to sneeze here. Let's just play this back. Okay. This is huge. Strack doesn't enter this room. And this is a big deal. If you look at the minimap, what do you guys see here? A red dot. Somebody's shooting an unsuppressed weapon. That means they probably don't have loadout because that's not true. But they are shooting unsuppressed. That means they're there. He knows they're there, so he tries to down this guy first. And then he looks to his right because he sees the dot here. He knows this person is here, probably. Why? Because there was a red dot here. And he probably hears this guy pick up a weapon. I feel like I heard that out of the corner of my eye, too. This guy's still looking at him. But he's doing, like, basically fast movement with high sense, but he's not wasting movement. A lot of movement demons suck because they try to do so much movement, they don't actually shoot their gun or center their gun, right? Okay, the other guy didn't see him. This guy does. What does he do? Realizes this guy's still onto him. Makes sense. He just shot him, right? So this guy played it up and it still remembers Strack is here. This guy's still aiming here because Strack has those perks. It allows him to break his camera here. Downs him. This guy's going to kill him because he doesn't have any ammo in his SMG. He's only using a 40-round mag. What does he do? He slides out from this cover. Let's just rewind this even more again. Like, we got to see this. Slides here. Notice that the other guy can't shoot him. Cash for Kills and Strack do something huge here. They're isolating their gunfights by making sure that when they fight one player, they're often behind cover. Even if they're doing it unintentionally. This guy now pushes him, right? Breaks his camera. By the time this guy's onto him, Strack's already aiming down his sights.
That was
Downs him, right?
disgusting.
That's just textbook play. And then remembers that guy has a self, hears it, gets the down. Now he's thinking, where's this other player and how can I keep him alive, right? We're going to get a reload here. And he knows the guy is up top. Yep. So he precisions this. Now, I don't know if he wipes this guy, but with Strack, I feel like he doesn't farm as hard as Cash for Kills does.
So we're going to pre-fire that.
He doesn't need to.
Precision.
Pops the UAV, made a little jump cut. So we can't see what happens, but this guy's aiming at him across the way. Knocks him. Gets a Yui. Again, there's people landing in. He knows that. And he knows there's up arrows on the minimap, right? He knows they're above.
So fast with Sprinter, it's insane.
Yep, it's such a cheat code.
Imagine if Sprinter was a default speed.
Yeah, they'll never do that. They'll just never do that. They might buff default movement speed with no tax sprint, but I also feel like movement demons are just kind of falling out of favor in COD. I'll be honest with you guys. And I think with the wall bouncing LTMs, the movement players can always go play that. You know,
This should be the default speed, I feel like. This right here.
Like, I do think the excessive movement is a lot for a lot of players. And like Strack isn't really like an excessive movement guy. He just has good movement. But I do think for the average player, man, they're kind of just done with the movement in CODs like that.
I feel like that should be the default sprint speed.
So I don't agree with a lot of my streamer friend counterparts with that. But anyway. Nice. Strafes back left to right to get that kill.
I do have to remember, though, I'm not running TACMAT or Quick Fix.
No Quick Fix and no Tempered, though, is tough. So that is the trade-off. And I think that is a huge trade-off. So this guy tries to challenge him and like probably takes fall damage here. If you're wondering why was this guy just so bad here, he probably took fall damage jumping from up there and couldn't shoot his gun because he didn't have Mountaineer. And I do feel like, just to nail on this, and if anybody from Call of Duty watches this or whatever, I love that you guys made it so that if you're a good player, you kind of have to choose what style you want. And sometimes I prefer to run Quick Fix and Tempered because I can fight multiple people on top of each other while sort of plating up and shooting. But if you're a movement player, or maybe a player that's trying to go really aggressive, you're obviously going to go the other way. Throws that in to maybe get a thirst. Doesn't. Sees him in there. Gets it down there. He's going to probably push in the left side here. Gets that thirst. I'm looking at the mini-map. I see all enemies above him. Yep. He knows that guy has to be there based on the mini-map. He's checking all... Notice how his centering's always on the next player, right? Like, he's tracking people through the mini-map here at all times, which is why Strack often gets accused of cheating. Because he plays on a high sense, he's cracked, and looks at the mini-map constantly. And he's played with the monitor cam, so we know this, right?
All right, we already have 24 on the board. This could be our highest kill game yet, ladies and gentlemen. We have 24 in the
24 is...
Very good pace right now. Gonna try and push over 40. If I do use this perk package, I feel like I gotta get used to using it without...
Take down the counter so he can pop the UAV.
Quick fix in this game. Okay, looks like MW3.
Right.
It's more like MW3 than
BO6. It does feel like MW3 movement, in my opinion. It's like MW3 and BO6 combined, basically. Which I think is actually good, honestly. And the UI kind of reminds me of MW3. MW3 really was a goated year of Warzone, man. I feel like it didn't last long enough, man. Like MW3 Warzone, from the colors to the UI, it just didn't last long enough.
Easier.
It just didn't.
It would be a lot easier for those two people where I don't use my gun so I could conserve more ammo, which...
Yeah, there's no throwing knife.
Would be making the game flow a little bit better, but I unlocked it at level 54 and I did not permanently unlock it, so...
Oh, is he talking about the combat axe? Yeah.
Unlock on quick fix, but I feel like it's a bad idea now because...
Yeah, that probably was a bad idea.
Sprinter.
I got a prestige soon.
I don't know if I should have done that. This gun is so good though, the MXR. I mean, just wow. Okay, that was the roll right there.
Yeah.
That tweaks me out every single time it happens.
No, but it's good. All right, we're on 33. Stract is kind of just in flow state here. Like, he's just looking at the minimap. He's taking what's in front of him, right? And he's just getting kills. And he's just showcasing good gunny. Like, I'll gas up Stract here. Like, he's the type of player that has good enough aim that if he really wanted to be a pro player, he could, right? In my opinion, if he trained for it. Now, the way it is now, that like being a pro player is just so much harder. And for people that want to be in ranked, right? Like, what can you take away from this? I feel like centering and like how you break down like the micro fights is a big thing. Because if you're playing ranked, competitive, or like a more sweaty setting, you can't take away some of the stuff Stract's doing. It's not going to work, right? But there is little things you can do in terms of like how to take these 1v3s and stuff. So I'll try to do another moment. I'll try to do another moment here. All right, this guy right here. Nice.
There's actually a whole team here, so we're definitely going to back up.
Gonna
Gonna drop over 40 here, though.
Oh my gosh, that zoom in just like... I was like, what the... All right, 34. I don't know if we needed that zoom in there, editor. Once again, right? And this guy, right, gets him low health. A lot of players might die to this guy where there's two of them. Now, that guy was looting, looking at the ground. Which, by the way, guys, if you're looting, I always tell people, practice opening boxes in casual. Don't even go in and shoot people in casual. Open boxes and practice... Like, try to say the name of the gun as it comes out, and like, yes, I'm going to pick it up. Because, like, looting and moving quickly is something you need to learn as a player. But notice that Strack strafes behind the wall here, right? Then he goes to plate up. He's going to get in all of his plates here. Then he can reach out. If he stays in that window, right? Like, let's just rewind this here. Ready? Like, see? He knows it. Look at this mini-map right here. We got two lined up here. He knew that other guy was there, so he takes the angle where he can only get shot by one, right? Don't slide into here and think you're a movement king. You're not, right? And then instead of challenging him, what does he do? Now, he could have put on a plate and then slid back, but instead, he knows he has movement perks. So what does he do? He uses the perks he has. It's just how to play one kill at a time. One kill at a time can really add up.
Quick fix.
Yep. He would play that completely differently with quick fix.
Okay.
And then that guy just gets a little bit... Obviously, that last guy there, he gets a little fortunate, right?
Come on,
Obviously.
baby. Let's get over a 40 this game. First 40 bomb on the new Warzone. And we're going to do with the NPC, which... NPC
Really? This was his first 40 bomb? Okay.
Because
this is a long video. This is an hour video, so we only had 140 kill in this game.
could be better iron sights, but I could see them dropping a blueprint with different ones. This is
That actually
probably the
surprised
number
me.
one SMG to use in the game right now, I will feel like. Gonna use the DLC one, the new one
Nice.
that got added after this to really test it. But so far, dude, I think...
He's on a goddamn building right there, bro.
I think the XMC might be the number one choice.
XMC? What is that guy doing?
That boy got one kill, man. He crashing out.
Somebody's crashing out on their random teammate. Here's this guy in here that's
Barrel
easy.
does get weird though. I might switch it back. I like how.
All right, so guys, let's see how he noticed. Like, how does he play this when he's not getting minimap pings, right? Because when you're getting minimap pings, it's really easy to figure out how to play it. Right? It's way harder when you don't, which they took away this in Modern Warfare 3. You know, Warzone has nerfed so much stuff over the years that really changes how you play the game. It's crazy.
It also gives you gung ho.
Same thing as Fortnite, though, to be fair.
Attack splitting as well. That is such a good feature to this game. Might be able to drop over 50. I don't know what the highest kill game is yet on this new version of Warzone, but
Nice.
might happen right here.
Nice. Get shot.
I got shot at from both plates at once.
Tries to get cover instead of just challenging. Jump cut. We don't know how he got here. Probably jumped off to rotate early. Gets that kill. Gets ahead of the zone, guys. In the new Warzone, you have to rotate early. You just simply do. With no gas mask, you got to be ahead of the zone. He's holding these players that rotated late. He recognizes a 1v4, so what does he do? He gets the down and uses this to rotate early.
1v4, the brand new record, chat. Let's go.
Got to drop a 50 here.
Come on.
Here's the guy under him. Here's the guy rezzing. Gonna get that thirst. 1v2. Here's the guy under him.
Are you lost? Oh my god.
Now, if you're that player that's under there, you cannot be looting in the end game, right? And once again, that's some of the luck that comes with these high kill games, because you might be a good player and you just don't get that sort of luck, right? But if you're that player in the end game, you cannot be looting. When you're in a 2v1 for the win, you cannot be looting, especially when the other player has 50 kills and he's been playing well. I also don't think Strack died once. Notice how that's different from somebody like we're about to watch for Cash for Kills, where he plays aggressively, okay with the fact that he's dying and he's able to regain. But Cash is like more of a movement player. Like, he has some of the best movement when it comes to just streamers in general, right? And so you're able to kind of get out of those situations. Just kind of making you guys think here. All right, let's see. So Strack's going to rotate late into the high ground to hold them, and they're going to buy back their team. This guy should have rotated early. Didn't, right? So Strack's rotating before they are, allowing him to always have the high ground. In the new Warzone, you have to rotate early. You just do.
52, chat.
You just do.
There it is, baby.
Nice.
52 with the
52 on the new Rebirth Island in the new Warzone. So hopefully that was helpful. Once again, give me your feedback in the comments. Do you like this stuff? Because this is stuff I can't do on main channel that I want to do over here, as well as we're going to bring back customs. My goal is to upload 2 to 3 videos per week here, now that Warzone's kind of back, quote unquote. But we can do everything from reacting to your guys' setups, your guys' gameplay. Let me know in the comments, but let's get to our next world record. First of all, lots of proc chat going on here. That's the first thing I'll say. And he's almost going to go down here. So I did watch the very beginning of this, guys. Notice how he almost goes down here. I feel like at the beginning of the game, you got to get a good game. I mean, a good gun, not game. You obviously got to get a good game. But you want to try to find an SMG with ammunition. Almost breaks his leg here. I think he thought he had Mountaineer. Yeah, okay, yeah. He didn't think he was going to take fall damage. He probably thought he had Mountaineer. So he's got a Koga and M15. Great pull. Notice he gets his guns, guys, and he stops looting. He's only playing for kills. I feel like a lot of us, we loot up. You know, we keep opening boxes. He's getting involved in the proc chat. I love that. That's my favorite thing to do. I love that Cash does that. So just a little bit of breakdown here. I'm going to try not to pause this, guys. He's already on 8 kills. Let's kind of talk about how it is. Because I'm not going to lie, one thing that people always talk about in these high kill lobbies is, oh, if I were in this lobby, I could drop a world record, right? And I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I think that 99.99% of players, if they were given the bodiest lobby in the world, would still not drop the world record. And there's going to be some people that are oddly going to try to disagree with that, but I think those people might be a little delusional. So I want to break down some of the stuff he's doing here. Let's kind of start on the roof, right? He lands at a hot drop in Mansion, and he's able to just stay alive, right? Like in this gunfight, like he's able to just stay alive where this guy gets him to 1 HP. And a lot of people, probably including myself, would go down here. But what does he do? He strafes. He kind of stays up here. Like, look at the situation here. This guy, right, is not on the minimap, so he does not know this guy's behind him. He's looking at that guy, has to turn around, goes to cover. So this guy misses shots, and then what does he do? He strafes back out with a little jump. And then he just goes for the down. He's not going to thirst this guy. A lot of people, I've been guilty of this too, will go for the thirst on that guy, and he gets himself in an awkward situation. He picks up a new gun that's not reloaded. You can see his face. He's nervous, right? He goes for the melee, and he just thinks about how to keep that down going, right? Then he's going to reload. He's going to plate back up, and we're going to push here just immediately. He's just going to chase pings. I mean, look at this minimap here, guys, when it gets here. Holy crap. There's at least 3 or 4 teams here. So what does he do? He knows his way around the map. He's just going to push. He's just going to go for downs. He's not going for thirst right away all the time. Like, he gets this down. He throws this in here, and then he reloads. He doesn't go get that thirst. He gets this guy, right? He's going to go for this guy, too. We get that thirst. He keeps moving, right? This guy lands in. He's aiming over here where my mouse is. He slides over here, right? Boom. Just like that. Let's kind of go back to where we were. I just think it's important to break that stuff down. I think he was down below. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. He's on 18 on this roof. Okay, we got to go to where he was, which is just, we'll just play it out from here. Yep, gets that knock. And by the way, he recognizes immediately he's on good pace. He's also calling out what some of the people are doing. Like, obviously, guys, right? If he gets caught in a position where some of these dudes are all shooting him at the same time, he's going to go down, right? There's no question about it. There's some luck that goes into like a world record lobby, obviously. But I will stand by the fact that I think there's something to learn for everybody, right? Even from these high kill games, if you're like, oh, well, I'm not good enough to get a high kill game, right? I'm not good enough. There's still something to learn. And he's like messing around. He's looking at the minimap, guys. Look, there's a guy above here. Slides back, gets the kill, right? There's something to learn here, even if you're a sweaty ranked player. I really fundamentally believe that. I do. Yep, there you go. 18 kills, guys. 18 kills. Boom. Obviously, right? That guy's AFK. He calls it out. That guy is easy because look at this. This ends up being 2 kills. First of all, we have a pick of the minimap. Thirst, right here. Look at his centering. He's already on this guy. Why? He's on the minimap. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. He knows there's a guy on his roof and below. I literally thought that was the guy too. I was going to say, no way. Guys, if you're going to hit a world record, you got to be on like 20 kills in first circle. And that's what he is. So I want to see, how does Cash play this the rest of the way? Does he go hard? Does he slow down? I think that'll be telling. Notice that he's taking not a lot of damage here, right? He is not losing a lot of his plates here, which is going to be key. Oh, big thing here, by the way. You guys might not even notice what he did. There's actually so much to take away here, it's not even funny. So, guys, notice when he gets this kill, what he does, right? I just want you guys to see this. He strafes to get more aim assist, even with the nerf, right? Behind this wall, thirsts. He knows this guy is here. Now, why does he strafe behind this wall? One, if I push out behind that wall and I shoot both them at the same time, I'm probably going to die, right? Because I am going to be in the line of sight of 2 enemies. Then he checks the mini map to see how many players are left so that he can farm the team. And I guarantee that most people watching this video don't do this simple stuff. Now, if you do, you're probably a top 1% player, right? And if you have above, I think it is like a 1 KD, you're in the top 10%, which is kind of crazy. But I think people forget just how many people log into COD once a month, right? It's a lot. And so that kind of leads to that. Now, we don't have ways to track that nowadays, but that's what it was in Warzone 1. We can assume people have got a little better than Warzone 1, but not as good as you think. So he wanted that kill. He's going to put him in a meat shield, probably to let them spawn back. 25 kills. Holy crap. Is that a guy right here? What's that guy doing? And that guy's level 55, just standing there, man. AFK, right? And this is like what, when it comes to a world record, man, you know, a lot of streamers that play for high kills, they play super aggressive. They're going to push everything, and they're going to sell out for every single kill. Why? Because to get the clips in the high kill games, you have to be very good, and you have to sell out for every clip. And sometimes you get that lobby that allow you to drop a world record. Now, I'm going to say something. People like Cash are probably going to drop more than 58 once they get to learn the map and the meta and how this Warzone plays, right? Everybody's still figuring out the movement and how everything plays. He doesn't even have his loadout right now. That's the wild thing. He's just looking at his minimap and using the Kogot, which is a good gun off the ground. Doesn't get the stock, but he's going to push it, right? He's going to push it. Oh, see, this is literally exactly it, right? He dies here. He's one death for 25 kills. Why? Because when you're going for a world record, now imagine if he got these 2 kills, right? He probably would have dropped 60. So that's the risk you take because you just have to sell out. You just have to. There's just no other way. That guy probably just played up and turned him. Just turned directly on him there. You see somebody landing. So I want you to think to yourself, why is he landing on this balcony? It's because somebody else is landing on that loadout and he doesn't have a resurgence timer. If you want to drop high kill games, don't always land on the loadout, land next to it. Simple as that. Yep, exactly. Right, exactly. He also has 15K. He could buy one, right? He knows that guy's... Amen. I mean, true. True. But he also hit his shots. That's a part of it. Not even plating because he has to throw down this box. Boom. Reduce, reuse, recycle. 28 for Cash right now. 30 left. Definitely a very healthy lobby. I hope you guys see, while there is some luck that goes into this, there's also just so much skill. Does he not have a Mountaineer? True. True. He's always looking at how many players are left. And this guy is going to... This guy probably is going to challenge him. I don't think he's in proc chat anymore. I don't see his mic moving. But I love how he's playing this. He's talking to himself on what to do, sort of. I mean, also for the viewer. But he's kind of reminding himself how he wants to play this. Which I'm not going to lie, guys. I'll just kind of pause. And yeah, holy aimbot. I mean, the good shots. Obviously, aim assist got nerfed. You could definitely tell with a lot of these top players that aim assist has been nerfed. You could just see it with the rotational. But you know, one thing I always tell people is if you want to get better, just try narrating to yourself what happens. And watch how much better you get, right? Sorry, just looking at some messages here. Nice. Oh, now he's in the pro. Oh, okay. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I was checking some Discord messages for some business here. But what he did here was he kind of acknowledged that there was some sweaty players and wiped them. Now, here's the thing with like sweaty players, right? People will always criticize me for calling somebody a sweat when I'm a streamer. And that's probably a fair criticism, right? For people to say, hey, you shouldn't do that. But like, it's all relative, right? Like if somebody is going to potentially wipe you out of the lobby or wipe people you're supposed to be killing, then they are a threat, right? They are a sweat in that sense. And I think anytime anybody dies, they're probably going to call somebody a sweat, right? It's just the reality. There you go. Yeah. Now, Cash has like a 15 KD, I think. So obviously, most people are just nothing when it, you know, in terms of sweatiness compared to him. That guy have a shotgun? I don't think that guy had a shotgun. And sometimes you can look at prestige to see if somebody's sweaty or not, but sometimes you can't. Like that guy's not prestige 1. The other guy just prestige that he killed. Which, guys, this is the first day of Warzone. You're going to have a lot of people that have in prestige. Oh, he missed a lot of shots. Wow. So that guy, I think, was like, it said level 1. We got to remember, this is the first day. If anybody didn't play Black Ops 7, they're all level 1. But also, that guy was good. And sometimes there are good players that are kind of just playing with their team slow and they're not pushing aggressive. But when they're playing as a team, it's hard to knock them out. And I think Cash knows this. But he's died twice on a world record game here. So I kind of want to see how he handles it, to be honest. Yep, he's knowing. He's knowing that it's going to be tough from here. Yep. UAV too. Fire sale. Oh. Nice. He got multiple plates though. That's huge. If he didn't do that, I mean, the weird thing is that guy looked like he was good for a second and then he just didn't, you know what I mean? That guy looked like he was actually going to challenge him there. But dude, if Cash didn't buy those plates quick enough, he would have died there. Notice that some of these fights, he's getting all his plates knocked off. Oh, that guy just can't let that happen. Yeah, you can't let that happen. Now he's got people all directions here. He's got to play this perfectly. He's getting shot from behind. I mean, a lot of players would have died in multiple of these situations he's been in. 100%. 100%. A lot of players, including myself, probably would have died in a lot of these situations. Just straight up. Claymore, he knows that. Getting some players landing in before Resurgent gets disabled. Notice he says, how am I alive? It's because he's straight behind this corner. Like, let's just kind of replay that for a second. He notices there's two here, so what does he do? He tries to play this guy wide behind cover. See how when he was behind there, that guy couldn't shoot him? Now, I think that guy's chasing another guy. Yeah, he is. So that's what happened there. So he gets a little bit fortunate, right? But he's gotten unlucky and lucky several times in this gameplay. Straight up. I hope people are seeing here, you know, that there is a lot of like fortunate circumstances that have to go right for these high kill games. But at the same time, you do have to be able to play the situations. Like, I maintain that. Nice. 45 here. He knows he's playing for world record, so he's probably going to play this. I assume he's going to play this aggressively to try to get as many as he can. That's my assumption. And we know he gets, I think, 58. Nice. We said nice at the same time. Okay, it sounded like that guy was plating for a second. Notice he's going to stop talking as much. He's going to lock in and look at the mini-map. He's trying to go for UAVs. I'd buy another one while I'm here, too. But at the same time, you got to move quick. Jump slide out. That guy was, like, not the worst player, not the best. Not the worst, though. But Cash just jump chowed him. He's going to go to the roof. He's going to try to go in order into the zone, right? So he's already thinking buybacks at the end, right? But notice, guys, he's rotating on the out of the circle. Why? Because if he goes middle of circle, here's what's going to happen. He's going to go middle of circle. That's harder because you're pushing into zone where people might be kind of camping and holding. Because if I'm pushing middle zone, the enemies there are thinking, I'm going to hold this guy, right? 100%. So what does he do? He pushes over here and he tries to get the people on the outside. Now, this guy is either looting or AFK again. I don't even know how that guy's AFK, but... Oh, wait. These must be the two players he's killed AFK multiple times. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but, you know, sometimes you got to go. You know, when you got to go, you got to go. I guess in the end game, not the best time. Like, and that's where you get lucky, right? Like, that's the stuff you get lucky on. But, you know, you still have to play well. Oh. He sees the sniper glint. Does he not have Mountaineer? Because he should combat roll. He's got some Discord pop-ups, bro. Turn on streamer mode while you're recording, Cash. You got to lock in. I don't think Cash is streaming for this. I think he's completely just offline here, I think. 54. Yeah, I actually don't know if he's offline or not. All right, looking at the circle. He's got center zone, but he's trying to get them to buy back. Loadout and final zone and a buyback. I mean, hey, sometimes you need your loadout. How does he play this? 1v4. 2 knocked. He's going to thirst this guy who's separate. I thought I saw something to the left, but I think that's the jackrabbit or whatever. No, maybe that was the guy I saw. I hear the jackrabbit thingy behind him. Now, these guys are starting to rotate in zone on him. So he's got to rotate up. And they're not buying back their homie. They probably don't have enough money. We got some music going here. Kogot, nice. There you go. 58 kills from Cash, 4 kills there. I believe that is the new world record on Haven Solo, but we're going to look at another high kill game here from another streamer to kind of see how he plays it different, any similarities. And, you know, just talking about different playstyles, I also want to talk in the next gameplay about ranked. How does rank, because obviously if you're playing competitive or you're playing like solos or sweatier lobbies, you know, you're going to play it differently, right? And I kind of want to talk about that in the next one. Once again, guys, I want to thank you all for watching today's CPreds 2 video. If you want more customs, more reactions, click one of the 2 videos on your screen. Thank you so much. Stay humble, stay hungry, and we'll see you guys in the next video.